Okay, I'm on the lower part of the patio, and what was going to be just a simple herb bed with a couple of oak sleepers stacked on each other has now turned into a rather different project. I've just ripped out the half-built project. I'm still going to put that video up because it might be useful. Basically, it was going to be a freestanding herb bed, just kind of a flower bed built using the sleepers. But before I even filled it up, we kind of made the decision to take it out and build ourselves a bit of an outdoor kitchen here. We were going to do that under the oak gazebo, but I think it's just a bit tight on space, and I'd rather leave that space a bit more flexible. If we're going to build a nice brick kitchen, this is the best place for it. I've still got that MDP pipe going down there, acting as a conduit. That takes a hose down from the water butt, but I think there is now going to be space inside that blue pipe for a 10mm fresh water coming off the mains, and then I can have a sink here as well, and that's pretty handy if I can keep it in there, because it means I can thread it straight under the patio and it can all stay underground and just pop up underneath the unit. So I'll go through the design when I'm back inside later, but for now we just need to prep up here. I'm going to lay a course of bricks along the front, get them nice and straight and level, and then pour a concrete slab in behind those and screed it all off. Okay, so you'll have to excuse me for missing out the bricklaying bit. I will get round to filming some of it, but I am not a bricklayer in any way, shape or form, so I'm going to teach myself as I go. This is all going to be hidden anyway, it's just really a bit of shuttering and just to level things off. So I'm going to try and keep that pipe above the concrete slab rather than bury it, so I can cut into it and put a T up for the sink. So we'll make sure that's just propped up. I just tried to bulk it out a little bit with some of the offcuts from the patio. Under this is pretty much all type 1 anyway, which has been compacted when I did the base for the patio. What I've also got is some rebar. It's quite a thin gauge one, and I've had a sheet of it for when I was going to lay a shed base. Probably unnecessary for this, but as I've got some, I may as well kind of cut a small sheet to put in here. So it's the first 50mm, or 2 inches in. I think what I'll do is sit the rebar on now, and then it might only be 1.5 loads to get it up flush. I haven't put a batten on the back wall, which I wish I had, so I can screed along it. I have marked off the level on the wall, so I might just have to float it by eye and just check with the level as it goes off. Stuck that load in, and that's covered up the rebar nicely. One more load should do it now. Don't know if this is going to be workable in the morning. It's nearly 9:30, 10 o'clock at night now, so it might be that this is still able to be floated off in the morning. I have no idea how quick it's going to dry. Well, I don't think it's a bad job for a post-dinner project. I'll tidy up that brickwork. I haven't got time to do it now. Just point it up and brush them all off. I'm more worried about the actual slabs here. Give them a good scrub now before any of that cement stains. Right, excuse the poor lighting. This is a few of the ideas I've come up with for the design. We're basically going to concentrate now. For now, we're going to get this bottom part built. So the centre is going to be for the log store, and then either side there'll be 2 cupboards which we'll build doors for, which will kind of house kitchen utensils and cooking stuff, and maybe barbecue if we'll fit it in there. So this is the one that I see it working out like most. Like I said, with the panelled cupboards either side with some old reclaimed wood. The archway below, I've drawn brick here, but I think we're going to use stone, like I've shown in the video. and this will be where our firewood's kept. Now the nice thing is we've got to have that overhang at the mouth of the oven, so that's going to overhang and shelter this wood even more, so it should keep it, you know, really dry, which is important. We're going to go for the sink on this side, and we'll bring up that pipework inside that cupboard. Probably just have a stainless steel sink we can drop inside the countertop. And as far as the oven itself, it would have been nice to build it from scratch using fire bricks or reclaimed bricks, but I simply don't have the time. And really, when you price it up and you're buying decent quality fire bricks, the option to use a perlite dome is actually not a huge amount more. Everything's going to be supplied. I found a guy who makes them. They're made in molds, so they all slot together, and all that gives you is an insulated dome, and then you can finish it how you want. Whether we cover it in bricks or whether we just render it for now, we can see when we get there and see how much time we've got left. So that's the plan. Brick built kitchen below, sink on the left, concrete countertop, and then our oven will sit on top of that. Right, back to the video. Okay, so day 2. I'm just going to do this in 1 hour, 2 hour sessions each evening. And unfortunately we're losing the light now this time of year, but hopefully I can get this done before the deadline, which is about 2 weeks away. So the slab itself poured and smoothed out pretty well last night. Unfortunately this morning I came back and wetted it down and thought I could kind of polish it up, but it was beyond that, and actually what I've done is scratched and kind of grazed the surface. It's probably not going to be seen. I think I'll continue the limestone slabs over the top of that anyway, but it's just something to bear in mind for the future, I think. So tonight's job is to start a few of the brick courses, kind of map out exactly where I'm going to have the walls, splitting up the 3 different sections, and I think I'm going to come up one more course at the front here, so that the 2 cupboards either side are raised off the ground and there's no chance of any driving rain or standing water on the patio getting into those cupboards, so they stay nice and dry. I'm going to go 1 brick thick on the outside walls, but here where the oven's going to be, I want to go 2 thick. 1, I think it looks nicer, and 2, I think it's going to help me when I come to build the arch for the kind of wood pile bit underneath the wood store. So I'm going to go up, and then I think from here back I'll stick to 1 brick, or I'm probably going to use concrete blocks there, so I don't run out of these red bricks. I'm not sure what the ideal height for a pizza oven is, but because I've got countertops either side, I guess I'll stick with 900mm, which is like you would have in a kitchen. So that means kind of I'm going to be up to here, and hopefully we've got enough bricks for that. So actually I need to gain quite a bit of an overhang at this point. I don't want to bring the whole countertop out, so I'm going to kind of curve it out here or square it off. So I'm going to try possibly to see if I can do a bit of a cantilever design just to bring the brickwork out a little bit underneath. But I'll probably have to do that above the arch itself. So we'll do an arch, and then the next brick up will come out just an extra half a brick. so it's far later than it looks. It's about 9 PM now and I'm running out of light. But what I have done is done a really crude mock-up of an arch. I was going to use bricks, but as we're short on bricks, plus I've got loads of nice stone from the house as well, I thought I'd try and use the limestone. So I have a natural stone arch kind of surrounded by the brick, and then when we come to do the oven above, we'll do the same thing. We'll have a stone arch in front of it. I'm pretty chuffed with that. I think that's going to give it a really nice look. What I've done in just either side of it, these ones here, I've brought them out by about half a brick, so about 100-150 mil. So that's me done for tonight. Not a single bit of mortar laid, not a brick in place really. But I think it's worth doing this dry fit. It's certainly a bit easier than doing it in SketchUp. I tend to overthink every project I do, and all I do is save them as little project files, and sat on my computer somewhere there's all these kind of harebrained ideas and plans, but only when you kind of get everything out like this does the project gain a bit of momentum. And you know, most of our projects are designed as you go, so this one's no different. Hopefully the next video will be laying all these, getting everything kind of set and in place, and that will kind of include the lintels and the arches, and then the video after that hopefully we'll be looking at building this concrete countertop, which I've watched dozens of videos on, and it looks fairly self-explanatory, especially when it's in situ like this. We haven't got to turn it over afterwards, and if all goes well we'll leave it as a concrete finish, and we'll try and kind of give it a bit of a polish. If we completely flop at that and that fails, then we will tile the top or use some slate or something. So that's the plan. Remember to subscribe to keep up to date with all the videos, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you can, do it yourself. See you next time.